Hi everyone, this is Tom. I wanted to put this video out quickly to help out anyone with a first generation Forester or Impreza. So this is from my 2001 2.5 RS, which you can see over there. I had an issue with the climate control. Sorry for my voice too. I am a little sick. I'm going to try and get this done in one shot, one take, and try and keep it under 5 minutes. So if you're having this problem, just try to stay with me. So the control panel for the HVAC, we've got our return air or our fresh air selector. We've got our fan speed, and then over on the left side is our hot cold blend, and then our vent position selector on the right, and our AC button, of course, at the bottom. So my issue is that my control for my fan speed is stuck at position 4, which is high, which is not always ideal. So I had a replacement, or not new, but a used junkyard sourced replacement that was just fine and moved freely. So moves from off to 4, and I need to switch the knobs. But so the same problem happened, and this is actually my original one. That's the replacement. So the same problem started happening like a couple of weeks later. So I'm not going to disassemble the one that's broken, but I am going to disassemble this one to show you what the problem is. So this is totally impromptu video. I don't have a tripod or anything, so I'm going to do my best to show everything clearly. So I'm trying to keep it under 5 minutes. Feel free to speed it up. First thing I want to do is take off these knobs. They just pull off, so don't worry, you're not going to hurt anything. Next thing I'm going to do is remove the faceplate. This one's broken. This one has all 3 tabs on the top intact, as well as the ones on the bottom. I did not break this one. This is the one I got out of the junkyard. I think somebody's already been in here. So it actually, yeah, I know they have, because there's LED bulbs in it. But so pop all applicable tabs off, and then the faceplate falls off like so. So now here we have kind of the guts. So we have this clear plastic assembly. Those are lenses, because as you can see, those 2 blue things are the LEDs for illumination. So it's kind of a fiber optic type system where it's going to illuminate in these ribbed areas of this clear plastic. So the best thing to do to get this switch out is we need to remove this central clear plastic lens. And you can get a screwdriver or something underneath it, but it will just lift out. I just did that with my 2 fingers off camera slightly. Again, I am just kind of trying to do this quickly with just hands and no fixturing. So maybe I can use the other control. There we go. So now, the next thing I'm going to do is remove this screw in the middle. That's going to allow the switch, which is a combination of the fresh air and recirculation selector, which it's really just a pivot for the lever. It's not a switch or anything. The AC button is actually a separate component, so this screw does not affect it. Let me go ahead and remove this screw, and it'll allow me to pop the switch assembly out from front to back. That screw is a bit of a tight fit, so there we go. Make sure we don't lose that. I'm sure you could replace it with any similar size screw that's meant for threading into plastic. So the next challenge is to get this to push through, which I just felt it click through. It doesn't take a lot of force. It's just kind of friction fit in place. So this whole switch assembly with this gray housing on the bottom, and up top, that's the lever for the recirculation, is going to come out as a unit. So it's going to slide out from over the top of these 2 other switches. Or I should say the AC switch. And, you know, to be honest, I have no idea what the hell that other thing is. But I'm just going to push on the switch assembly, and then I can pull it out the back like so. Turn it over. So here, this is kind of 2 parts. It took me a minute just quickly to figure out how to pull it apart. The first thing we need to do is slide the unit with this gray housing and this arm. slide it toward the back. You see two fingers holding it down there. There's a corresponding two fingers on the other side. So I'm going to try and do it just like that. Not too bad. Now, here's the first indicator of our problem. You see that little divot? That is from heat. That is excessive resistance in the switch in the high position. You turn the switch over, you can see here, this is not how it's supposed to be. So this is not a repair video, sorry. This is a temporary fix. What I will suggest to you will get you by so that your controls can work, and you could potentially put it in a lower position, but you know that if you put it into the high position, it will likely get stuck again if you do not perform this filing or notching procedure like I'm about to show you. So I still have to find a suitable replacement because this same issue is affecting my original HVAC switch. So now this is going to be very tough for me to do with one hand, so I will probably need to put the camera down for this. The gray housing has 4 tabs. You can see 1, 2, and then on the other side you saw those before. So I'm going to set the camera down for a second and remove that gray cover. So you can use a flat blade screwdriver or a pick or even your fingernails, but be careful, don't cut yourself. Some of these plastic things can have sharp edges. Okay, so here's the lower half of the switch. Here's the gray housing with the pivot arm. Now if you look here, there's your contacts, which as you move the pivot are going to change position. So if you look at the switch itself, or the main contacts inside the switch, you will see that there are different positions for different conditions, low speed, high speed, etc. So all the way over to the right, you can see the larger pad. There's a little bit of a green coloration right there. What might not be coming up on camera so much is there's a little shelf there from where it has heated up and distorted the plastic. So that corresponds with this divot on the underside. So this is not, again, this is not a fix. But so what happens is there's a vertical transition, like it drops down from all the heat. So if you take a small file or a pair of dikes, diagonal cutters, and cut away this plastic to make it more of a ramp instead of a drop off, that should get you by. But again, this is not a long-term solution, but this is the cause. So if you go hunting in the junkyard for one of these control units, you might just do yourself a favor. I don't care if you cut apart the wires / cables to get the junkyard unit out and do it really quickly. You probably want to remove this component from the junkyard replacement and verify that it is not melted like this unit or like your defective one, because even if it's started, it's only going to be a matter of time before it happens again. So these cars are getting old. The last GC, GM, body style, or GF if you have a wagon, was from 2001. So that's almost 20 years. SF Foresters, I believe, suffer from the same problem. But my car has 270,000 miles on it. So it's still hanging in there. If you find a lower mileage vehicle, odds are you might not be affected by this problem. I have not gone searching for a replacement switch assembly. That may very well be available in the aftermarket. But I felt the need to make this video, having just diagnosed this and figured out what the hell is actually going on. So again, I appreciate you watching. Hopefully this helps. Sorry about my voice. It's definitely not the kind of video I would want to make, but this is really the only time I want to do this. So thank you very much.